Well, are you ready for some unindoctrination? I hope you are, and I hope you're ready to create yourself and live a life that you'll love, or at least I hope you're ready to hear about that and to learn about that. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. Of course, we have the Christian Whistleblower channel. We have the Late Night in the Heartland that comes every Monday through Friday, including tonight at 10 p.m. And we have, ladies and gentlemen, this show that we're bringing to you right here, right now. This is our White Dianetics program. And today we're talking about illness, perversion, and Dianetics. That's right, illness, perversion, and Dianetics. We're always brought to you by our folks at Focus Life Force Energy. You can see their logo. You can find that on jeffreydaugherty.com. And you can look in the, go on the box, sorry, somebody's trying to call me. You can go to the link below and find out all the information you need to know about this great product. Well, folks, let's get right into this. We don't want to mess around. We don't want to hold you up. We want to bring you some good information and some information literally on how you can change your life and take control of your life. Now, we talked last time that we were talking about Dianetics. We were talking about psychosomatic illness. Now, the aberration of mind, of body, and body by Ingram's leads not only to psychosomatic illnesses, but it also leads to actual pathology, things that are really wrong with you. And it's always been generally considered to be separate from the mental state. So Dianetic theory and Dianetic practice shows us that actual pathology, real things physically wrong with you, do have a great deal to do with your mind. And amazingly, ladies and gentlemen, when you are Dianetically cleared, you, ladies and gentlemen, are almost proof. You're almost 10 feet tall and bulletproof to the receipt of pathology. In other words, you don't get sick. You don't have to wear glasses. These are for the computer. I don't have to wear glasses. You don't get sick. Now, to what extent that is known is not completely known yet, because it takes many, many years and many, many thousands of hours of practice. And it would take a long time for those results to become meaningful. And the Church of Scientology now, the not the Clearwater one, but the Clearwater one, the bad Church of Scientology you don't want anything to do with, they're not going to release any of that data anymore. And unfortunately, there's not enough of us independent Dianetics workers, independent Scientology workers, to really be able to have the organization to compile the data together. So right now, we're kind of at the we're at the mercy of anecdotal spread the word of mouth advertising, for lack of a better term. And that's really not a bad place to be, because all I can tell you is that I have known about Dianetics and Scientology, white Dianetics and white Scientology, for about, I would say 10 years. And all I know is that it works every time it's tried. And all I know is that every person that I've worked with it on, and that I work with, and in my life, I've become almost proof against the receipt of pathology. Now, Ingram's may not do any more than predispose the person towards illness, but Ingram's are involved in physical illness as well as psychosomatic illness. Believe you me, that I can tell you. Now, let's talk a little bit about derangement. There's two categories of derangement, and it falls rather sharply into two categories. We're on Facebook right now. We're on Twitch right now. We're on YouTube right now. We're on Twitter right now. So if you're from any of those places, let me know. We're glad to have you. Now, the first type of derangement is mental derangement, which in Dianetics we call aberration. Something's wrong. Now, the other derangement is somatic, and that means pain. And this applies entirely to physical pain, physical abilities, physical health. Now, both of these both the derangement and the pain, they're present in every single engram. The somatic, which means the pain, and the aberration, which means the aberrant behavior that's manifested. Now, the crazy thing about an engram is that it can manifest itself chronically as somatic pain. Oh, got a pain. You can get a pain. Or it can be an aberration, acting crazy, doing something that is not acceptable in the circumstances where you find yourself. Or it could be both. We've all known people that blow up, say things, do things, and then they're hurting. We all know people that just hurt and don't say things and blow up. An engram must contain physical pain, period. The end. If it doesn't contain physical pain, it's not an engram. If it's an engram, it contains physical pain. But when they're re-stimulated in everyday life, one might feel that pain or one might not. Now, Jeff, you just said that an engram has physical pain. And if you're manifesting an engram, how could you not have physical pain? Because you can manifest an engram in a different valence. What's that mean? That means, remember the story about the woman that got knocked down by her husband, kicked, told she was no good and always made stuff up? When that engram manifests or re-stimulates and she goes into dramatizing it, she doesn't dramatize herself, the one laying on the ground. She dramatizes the strong person in that engram, the husband. So she'll hit her son. She'll knock her son down. She'll kick him. She'll say he's always making stuff up. And if she's doing that, she doesn't feel the pain because the husband didn't feel the pain. But if she manifests in her own valence, she would feel that pain. It would be present. Interesting stuff, isn't it? So when a somatic appears, so too does some of the aberration. Now remember, the person will always dramatize the stronger valence or valence in the engram. One would reasonably assume that this would make the dramatizer better off to be on the winning side. But think about it. How many people have been killed? How many banks have been robbed? And I add this in. How many of these crazy shootings do we see? And how many marital partners have been driven crazy by such dramatizations? Are they really better off? No. And those that dramatize the survival valence and engrams will do violent things to other people, while the one that will not permit themselves to the dramatization or is suppressed by societal factors from dramatizing, they'll develop psychosomatic illnesses. Either way, it's no bueno, ladies and gentlemen. Now, here's where I get in trouble. You know I can't do a podcast without getting in trouble. My name should be Jeffrey T. Daugherty, but it's Jeffrey A. Daugherty. The T would be for trouble because I'm always in it. Now, one of the psychosomatic illnesses, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cousins of all ages, one of the psychosomatic illnesses that you'd least expect to find as a psychosomatic affair is the illness of sexual perversions. Here I go, trying to help. If you stay with me through the totality of this talk, you'll understand. In Dianetic terms, the term sexual pervert or sexual perversion includes any and all forms of deviation in dynamic 2, which remember is the sex dynamic. Dynamic 1, survive. Dynamic 2 has to do with sex. So any and all forms of deviation in dynamic 2, which is sex, including homosexuality, lesbianism, all the L's, the B's, the G's, the T's, the Q's, sadism, pedophilia, those are all perversions. And any and all persons that are of the LGBTQ community, they are all ill. Dianetically speaking, whether they're conscious of it or not. Such persons are not normal and are dangerous to society. Stay with me. Why are they dangerous to society? Because the tolerance of such perversion is as thoroughly bad for society as the punishment of such perversion. This is interesting. Until now, we've only had two choices. We either punish homosexuality, we punish the LGBTQ community, or we tolerate the LGBTQ community. One or the other, because you really don't have any other choice. Are you going to beat the hell out of the kid because he might be gay? Or are you just going to love him and accept him and tell him he's normal? Which one are you going to do? Well, now neither one of those are a good extreme, because punishing people for being lesbian, punishing LGBTQ people is stupid, wrong, immoral, and should not be done. They should have every single right that any other person that is not LGBT or Q has. They should have all of the rights, all of the privileges, all of the red, white, and blue that every other American has. That's the way it should be. But that does not include the normalization of their illness by the rest of society. So we should not punish them, and we won't. I never will. But we will not tolerate them in saying, you're normal, you're fine, you're perfect, what you do is okay, because in Dianetic terms, the second dynamic is a sex dynamic. The first dynamic is survive. The second dynamic has to do with sexuality and the raising and rearing of children. And I'm from the old school. I remember back in the day when gay came out the closet. I was there when gay came out of the closet. And when gay came out of the closet, gay was against all of these people that today want to play gay. They want the gay part. They want the happy part of gay without the bad part of gay. Because today you can be gay and adopt children. Back in the day, if you was gay, you were gay, and you said, no, that's not part of the gay lifestyle. Back in the day, the OGs, the original gays, they were gay. We don't want nothing to do with your monogamy. We don't want nothing to do with your marriage. We don't want nothing to do with your raising of children, having children. We're gay. We don't want to do any of that. That's real gay. And that's the gay that I have respect for. I'm gay. I'm not, but if somebody's gay, if you're gay, be gay as shit. Be gay. I'll let you be gay. Go on your way being gay. But I'm not going to say you're normal. I'm not going to say it's regular. And you don't want me to. But see, today, we think if we don't punish them, we got to accept them 100%. No, we don't have to do either one. We don't have to do either one. Until now, we've been caught between tolerance and punishment as our only choices. But with Dianetics, we can move beyond the need to punish. We can move beyond the need to accept and normalize. And we can offer clearing for those that desire it and leave society free of worrying about punishing, leave society free of worrying about normalizing, and just let people be. Dianetics doesn't punish homosexuality or sexual perversion, nor does it tolerate homosexuality or perversion. Dianetics clears those who want to be and lets the others go on their way. I think it makes a whole lot of sense, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think? Illness, perversion, Dianetics. It gives you something to think about, doesn't it? It gives you something to ponder. It gives you something to maybe wrap your brain around, ladies and gentlemen. It gives you something to wrap your brain around. Let me go into the chat room real quickly. Let's see. I didn't know the president was live. It is always deep in here. The person yelling at himself walking down the road, absolutely. What percentage of the world has engrams? 100%, unless you've been cleared Dianetically. This is L. Ron Hubbard Dianetics, but it's white Dianetics. It's not black Dianetics. It's the original Dianetics. We should seek to structure our society to discourage the behavior. Yes, we should. We should seek to discourage our society to engage in any type of engramic behavior. I'm not a member of the Church of Scientology. No. You're in truth, and thank you for what you do. Thank you, Harold. I watched some of the late night shows, but this is the first I've heard of white Dianetics. Well, now you have something new to think about, don't you? In the Create Yourself playlist, I explain Dianetics versus the garbage of the Church of Scientology. We are not against that. Hello in Old Town, Alexandria, Virginia. I've not been, but I've heard it's a pretty nice place. It's the only thing that makes sense, says Jerry. Scientology didn't go down till after the infighting after Hubbard. Yes and no. You're pretty close. And I appreciate you appreciating the presentation. Let me see if we have anybody with any questions on it's the only thing Facebook. That makes sense, says Jerry. Scientology. No comments yet on Facebook, brand new on Facebook. Just because I don't let people troll in the chat room, I will go ahead right now and I will open up the phone lines. If you want to call in and ask a question about illness, about perversion, about Dianetics, tonight at 10 p.m., you can call in and ask about anything. But at this point, I'm going to say only ask a question about the subject that we have studied today. And just to help you with the phone number, I'm going to put up my late night in the Heartland screen behind me. And of course, for a little bit of advertisement for the show tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about the incredible astronomical correlations between where the stars and the planets and the constellations, whatever you think they are, where they were in 1776 and where they are in 2020. It will blow your freaking mind. And we draw some incredible implications. And then we'll have 2 hours of your calls on any subject. But if you do want to call right now and ask me a question about illness, perversion, and Dianetics, if you want to ask me about Scientology, if you want to ask me about Dianetics, feel free to call right now. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Somebody's coming to jump my battery. My car didn't start it, and it went dead. You can call 913-279-0831, 913-279-0831. We'll leave it open for about 5 minutes to see if anybody has any calls. I'm bipolar. What do you think about mental illness? I think it is engrammatically based, and if you got Dianetically cleared, you would not have any more bipolar issues, unless, of course, you've got some type of a organic brain malfunction. Some of it's missing, some of it doesn't work, some of it's been damaged. Unless you have organic brain and neurological destruction, Dianetics helps every person every single time. No ifs, no ands, no buts. Christopher Brown says we cover in true real life issues. We do. We cover the real thing. We cover the real world, ladies and gentlemen. Michael loves the blue crab sandwiches in Old Town Alexandria. And folks, this is life-changing. This is life-altering. And this will be added to the Create Yourself Dianetics playlist on my channel. We do have the YouTube or the Facebook now for Create Yourself White Dianetics. So can you clear yourself, or do you need help from a clear to do so? Great question. Originally, L. Ron Hubbard created Dianetics so you can create yourself. That's my motto, but you can clear yourself. You can clear yourself, and that's my goal. I'm taking you through Dianetics, and then we'll take you through another book. It's going to take a minute, and you will be able at that time to clear yourself. We'll probably have a big seminar, a big virtual seminar, and you will learn to clear yourself. Now, some of you, for whatever reason, probably won't be able to clear yourself, and you'll need a little help. At that point, I will make myself available to help you if you need help clearing yourself. But Dianetics is not supposed to be big money, hell yeah, like the Church of Scientology has made it. It's supposed to be where you can buy a book or two at the most, or download them on the internet and clear yourself. And if you do need help, you can get help at a very reasonable rate, like a regular psychologist or psychiatrist, like $50 an hour, and get yourself clear. And you can do it in very short time, 7 to 10 sessions, I would think, at the very most. But anyway, you can clear yourself. Do you think that this could replace psychiatric care? If everybody would get Dianetically clear, we wouldn't need psychiatric care. Psychiatric care is another cult, another religion, another outsourcing of your divinity, sovereignty, and freedom, in my humble opinion. Mr. Incredible, Senor Incredible, I appreciate you very, very much. And the world does need to hear this. Clear yourself to create yourself. And Brandon's right. Psychiatry is just another piece of the medical mafia. I agree with you 100%, Brandon. And you know what? I am toying with a way to help take on the medical mafia head on, ladies and gentlemen, head on. So if you tried to call, I'm not sure that I had the Ring Central on. I do have it on right now. I'll give you another couple of minutes. If you do want to call and ask me a question about the Dianetics, illness, perversion, Dianetics, the phone lines are open for sure right now. 913-279-0831, 913-279-0831. And yes, Tracy says that psychiatry is a cash cow industry. Yes, it is. Steven says those that are so-called doctors can't help you and probably do more damage. Well, if you got a broken leg, you need to get it set. If you got a gash in your arm, you need to get it sewn up. So I'm not saying that doctors are bad, but the sick care industry, the cut people and prescribe them drugs industry is morally bankrupt. What's the other book? I've read Dianetics back in the early 70s. The other book is called Dianetics Today, and it's very, very hard to get because the Black Church of Scientology has repressed it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and leave off. I'm going to go ahead and shut the phone lines down now. Nobody seems to be calling here, and that's okay. Tonight, we will have the phone lines open from 10 p.m. Central to midnight, ladies and gentlemen. And it's 2 hours of your calls. I do give a little bit of a study on that show. Like tonight, I'm doing the, the incredible coincidences, the incredible correlations, the incredible alignments astronomically between 1776 and 2020 and what it might mean. Joe Sapiens, one of the smartest guys that listens to this program, says that psychology is a way to outsource divinity and sovereignty. That's exactly right, Joe, and I appreciate it. And maybe we'll hear from Joe tonight. But until then, I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. I am your dedicated mailman. I will bring you the mail through rain, snow, sleet, dark of night. Even when I'm alone by myself right now with Cynthia out doing business, we will bring it to you. I'm going to see if I can't bring you a Cousins Club. I didn't forget about those. I've just been busy like a one-armed paper hanger. And if you're a one-armed paper hanger, I appreciate your work ethic. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been Create Yourself with White Dianetics. I am Jeffrey Daugherty. I am not a member of the Church of Scientology, and I never will be. It's a bad place. Somebody says, well, are you a Scientologist? Well, Ron Hubbard said that anybody that uses the spiritual tech of Dianetics or Scientology to help better the world is a Scientologist. So according to that, I guess I am. I am a member of the International Association of Scientologists. That's a free Scientology group, nothing to do with the church. I only say that so I can say I do know what I'm doing. I've been doing it for 10 years. And if you want to create yourself, if you want to go free, go clear, I can help you do so. If you don't, that's okay. And if you don't like this part of what I offer, just forget about it. We'll see you tonight at 10 p.m. for Late Night in the Heartland. I see the love of my life in the chat. Be careful, sweetheart. I'll see you again real soon. And ladies and gentlemen, for Tracy Dyer, all our great moderators, for the best chat room on YouTube, to those on Facebook, I salute you for being here seeking after truth. To those, both of you on Twitch, I salute you for being here seeking after truth. Those on Twitter, and also those of you right here on YouTube. We're the last generation of real humans, and we're going to make the world better than it's ever been, sooner than you can ever imagine, and even sooner if we all could just go clear. We'll see you tonight at 10 p.m. for Late Night in the Heartland. That's 10 p.m. Central. And until then, I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, reminding you that now's the time to create yourself, live the life you love, and now's the time to unindoctrinate yourself. Take care, everybody. We'll see you tonight.